Now, another way that, and this is what I would like to see the office do every year, is a systematic evaluation of drug policy, drug by drug, population by population. So I'm going to show you real quickly what's really happening with drug use in terms of 12th graders, which is the most common use of age of use, 18 to 25-year-olds. So this is cocaine. Cocaine use is not down. You keep a record of this. Cocaine use, not down. Ecstasy use, not down. Methamphetamine use, declining. LSD, declining. So that's the good news, okay? Marijuana use, increasing. Narcotics use, increasing. Sedatives use, increasing. Tranquilizer use, increasing. We have a losing record. If we were a sports team, we would be demoted to a lower level, right? Or we'd have to fold our tents and try another sport. And again, the point of this is that young people are simply switching drugs. They're moving away from drugs like ecstasy and LSD, which are not addictive, which are not deadly in the sense of overdose death, and they're switching to drugs like tranquilizers, sedatives, narcotics, which are addictive and can kill you from an overdose, much more likely to kill you. And then all of this talk about young people, what about adults? I should point out both President Bush and President Clinton before him, and now President Obama have stated they have goals to reduce drug use among adults as well. The Bush administration simply ignored the data on adults and focused on young people. This is a slide from the 2010 strategy. In orange at the top is young adults, 18 to 25, and on the bottom in red is adults, 26 and older. And you see that drug use among adults is not down. It's not increasing very rapidly, but it's not down, which is the stated goal. Keep in mind that this is during a time when US taxpayers are paying more and more every year to fight the drug war. This shows you in billions of US dollars. Interestingly, this is the official budget of ONDCP, the office. It's a vast understatement of how much we actually spend. For example, in 2003, the Office of National Drug Control Policy changed their budget, the way that they do the budget. They just decided to remove every dollar we spend on federal law enforcement, every dollar we spend in federal courts, and every dollar we spend on federal corrections from the budget. We're still spending it, it's just not in the budget. That has two effects. One, it reduces the size of the budget, and two, it makes it look like we're spending a higher portion of the budget on treatment and prevention, when in fact we're not. It's creative accounting, if you will. The office actually said, this makes the budget more accountable to the American people. That's what they said. That's what they said in writing. Now here's the clearest example of manipulation of data. This is a slide showing drug use in gray, marijuana use, and black, cocaine use. And this is, I don't know how many of you are familiar, particularly from Mexico, with Nancy Reagan's campaign, Just Say No to Drugs, the First Lady. So they're saying right here, look right here, that when Nancy Reagan told the American people to just say no, and notice they're focusing on 18 to 25-year-olds for some reason as opposed to children. But when Nancy Reagan said just say no, cocaine use started going down. You see that? Cocaine use had gone up, and thank goodness for Nancy Reagan, because cocaine use actually went down as a result. Now, never mind the fact that every single published study that's ever been done shows that this program was ineffective. Forget all that. What's interesting is in 2006, you see the same slide from the strategy right there. But notice it's still 18 and 25-year-olds. Look at the trend line now. Different trend line, right? If you don't get it, let me show you what I mean. Just compare the two trends. The first one's from 2003, the second one's from 2006. See the difference? Well, the bottom one is the accurate one. Okay, the bottom slide is the accurate slide. The top one is not, it's a mistake, if you will. So then what about this claim that Nancy Reagan made drug use go down? This is false. This is wrong. This is a lie. It simply did not happen. And ONDCP has never issued a retraction on this slide. So busted. Now I asked the chief policy analyst, the top scientist from the White House, who's involved in creating these documents. I showed him this slide and he said, I didn't make it. He said, we didn't make it. We hired someone to make that slide, which I guess makes it okay. All right, the second goal is, are drugs less available? Here you'll see that ONDCP states a theory, a testable theory. Basically it says this: if you disrupt supplies, prices go up, drug supplies become erratic, and use goes down. The beauty of this is it's measurable. 2010, if you take drugs out of circulation, prices rise, drug use goes down. All of this is measurable, and we have data on them, right? Well, rather than presenting data systematically, ONDCP does this. They say, look, from 2001 to 2004, we've made ecstasy less available, and therefore use has gone down. And see, we've made LSD less available, and therefore use has gone down. So I was curious if this was true. I went and made my own slide on drug availability in the United States. This is from Monitoring the Future data, the same data that ONDCP uses. Those slides focus here on 2000 to 2004. They focus on ecstasy and LSD only. If you can't see those, there they are. Why would ONDCP choose these two drugs to focus on? Because from 2000 to 2004, they're the only drugs that were availability went down. This is called cherry picking. Does that translate well? Cherry picking? You pick favorable data and ignore the rest? In terms of prices and purity, look, during 2007, cocaine prices went up and purity went down. The stated goal of the policy. Okay? This is from 2010. From 2007 to 2009, price of cocaine went up and purity went down. So it's working, right? Our strategy's working. Well, I went to the White House, okay? These are there. You notice the source on the bottom. These are White House data. These are prices of cocaine. Down. Crack, down. Heroin, down. Methamphetamine, down. Marijuana, down. Cocaine, now purity, unchanged. Crack cocaine, slightly down. Heroin, up. Methamphetamine, up. Marijuana, up. Marijuana, up. Okay, so basically, drugs are generally cheaper and better now than they were when the office was founded. These are according to their data from their website. Here's another quick example. Cocaine production in Colombia, up or down? They say it's down. It's actually up. I say that a blind squirrel, a blind monkey could see this. Flights coming out of Colombia are down while they go up in Venezuela. They claim success. It's basically displacement. I'm running out of time real quickly. Is treatment more available? This one's easy. No. In light blue is the number of people who do not receive treatment that need it. The vast majority of drug users do not need it. ONDCP historically has claimed this is because people are in denial. They don't know they need help. In fact, that may be true, but you also see in blue that as a proportion of our budget, we're spending less and less on prevention and treatment every year, and more on the war part of the war, law enforcement, military, and international spending. To President Obama's credit, there's been a 1 percentage point change back in favor of treatment and prevention.